Welcome to another Talks with Saro of Money on Chain. My name is Luis, also known as Crypto Luis, and we are happy to have you here today. It's a special day. We're gonna discuss Flipmoney, the new stablecoin protocol for emerging markets and the global south. And we have a special reward for mock holders. So this one you don't wanna miss, and we're gonna discuss everything related to this special launch from the creators of Money on Chain. So here with me, I have Manu Ferrari and Max Carjuza, who's gonna join us right now. So welcome to them. And
Hola, ¿cómo andas? ¿Me escuchan bien ahí?
yeah,
How are you doing, Luis? Let's switch to English today, or
Sí,
Spanglish.
a vos te,
yeah.
a vos te escucho bien, Manu. A
I listen-
Cryptolus lo escucho muy bajo.
Okay, let me
a
check
Luis?
Perdón. A
Yes,
Cryptolus.
very low volume.
just adding a little bit of volume here. Can you hear me now?
Yes, now it's better.
Cool.
Yes,
I
now
was,
I can
you
hear
know,
you.
reducing the volume of my microphone because in the other streams lately, I was so loud, even more than my guests. So I don't want that to happen, but good to know that you're hearing me good now. Welcome.
Thank you.
Great. You have some birds there, no?
What?
I listen to some birds. I don't know if Max or it's in Salvador, it's you.
Not sure. I don't have no background noise, but I can mute my microphone
Oh, no,
while you speak.
maybe Max.
No, they are not here, but I hear that also.
No, we're okay. We are ready. We're ready to go with this. So how are you guys? How you been?
Fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Anyway.
So today we're gonna talk about flip money, and I wanted the people to know why are you here? I mean, how's money on chain related to flip money?
Okay. Well, Money on Chain is like a second. Flip Money is like a second version of the protocol. Is quite similar to Money on Chain, but instead of using Bitcoin as collateral, we built something using Bipro. So it's quite related. We are using the collateral token from the liquidity token from Money on Chain, and instead of users being able to mint a dollar peg stablecoin, they are being able to issue or to mint Argentine pesos or Colombian pesos initially. That's the two coins that they will be able to use. Again, they will be using Bipro to mint this local currency tokens from emerging markets, initially from Argentina and from Colombia. And the people that wants to provide collateral will provide Bipro and will get like a super Bipro. It's called Bipro Max. There's a joke with Max. But anyway.
So at the end of the day, it's Bitcoin because Bipro.
Yes, it's all Bitcoin. It's all Bitcoin. Bipro is 100% Bitcoin. So you are putting a token that is fully backed by Bitcoin and getting out stable coins from Latin America. You could say more peg coins because are not very stable. But you are getting peg coins to Argentine and Colombia countries' currencies initially, and the idea is to enable Mexico peg coins and Brazilian peg coins, and from any country that at the end there is a third token that I have not mentioned yet, which is called the Flip. It's like is not like is the governance token. and people holding this token will be able to propose new peg coins. Okay, so the idea comes from Money on Chain. The protocol had been rewritten, so it had been rewriting. Sorry, my English sometimes not too good. Anyway, we from the idea of Money on Chain, we wrote again all the smart contracts, and so it's a new protocol, but we are using a lot of what we have learned in these 6 years that we've been building Money on Chain.
So this is basically the same as Money on Chain protocol, but adapt to local currencies from these countries, Colombia, Argentina, and Mexico, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
The financial and mathematical model is exactly the same. The only difference is that instead of having only one peg, you have multiple pegs.
Okay, good. So are users gonna be able to issue their own currencies freely, or they have to propose it to the governance mechanism before?
No, to issue the token is exactly the same like it works in Money on Chain. So if you will need BPRO to mint Argentine peso or a Colombian peso, but you don't need to have any governance token at all. There is some benefits if you have it, because the fees can be paid with a lower cost, but you don't need. You just
I
need.
think Crypto is referring to adding new peg coins. For example, when you want to list the Brazilian real, yes. When you want to add a new peg coin, the flip holders must agree on adding that new peg coin, because there are certain things that should be taken in consideration. It has to be liquid enough coin. You have to have oracles, trusted oracles, or trusted sources for the price of that specific coin. So you cannot add whatever. You only can add things that make things.
Yeah, of course.
It
So
sorry.
You have to build the oracles and have the liquidity provider first before you add a new pegged currency to the protocol.
Yes, the liquidity will be there because the protocol backups all the peg coins with the same collateral. So the liquidity will be there, but you need to have a price source for the protocol.
Okay, something you want to add, Manu?
No, it's just that yes, adding a new peg coin is a major change in not from the technical point of view. From my understanding, it's more on the Oracle side, and it is a change that Flip token holder will need to evaluate and to vote careful, because you need demand for that token to be enough. Initially, is something that we have not mentioned yet, but we are going to launch this protocol centralized, like we launched initially Money on Chain, and we will decentralize very fast because we are going to reuse all the governance protocol that we built for Money on Chain. So the idea is just for security reasons, we are going to launch centralized, and we will decentralize very fast. So when it is decentralized, making changes to decentralized protocols is not something that is so fast. It has a process. You need to vote. You need to propose. You need to vote. And this, in the case of this of the protocol, once the oracles are running in a decentralized mode, there need to be an incentive for the oracles, the people running the oracles that are feeding the price of the Argentine peso or the Colombian peso. The protocol to work needs the price of these currencies. If you want to add a new currency, you will need to add a new price, and adding a new price needs the oracles to be writing more data, and this has a cost. So there need to be enough demand from the people using the protocol to cover this cost that the oracle nodes will write. I don't know, Max, if I'm correct on how I'm explaining this.
Oh, yes.
It's something like the same will happen, actually happens with money on chain. Luckily we have enough demand for the dollar on chain and for the usage of money on chain protocol in general to have a lot of node operator. Actually, it's not a lot. There is 10 nodes operator that are competing to have the privilege to write the price of the dollar in Bitcoin, and there is enough economic activity in the protocol to for these oracles price feeders to be willing to spend Bitcoin to write this in the Rootstock blockchain. This is something that sometimes we don't talk too much, but actually money on chain protocol and Flipmoney are using the centralized oracles that we built initially for money on chain, and that we are going to reuse for Flipmoney.
So as you said, you are replicating the money on chain technology and applying it to local currencies from Argentina, Colombia, and Mexico, right? I mean,
initially Argentina and Colombia. Then the idea is to add other currencies, but most probably those currencies are going to be bought by Flip token holders.
You know, that now that you mention it, I noticed that we have a big community, a money on chain community in Africa. So there might be a chance to issue local currencies from Africa on Flipmoney as well. There's a chance for that to happen.
Sure. Actually, I was talking the other day with some friends from Africa, with Alex. It's a pity I didn't share the live stream. Maybe he's listening to it now. But we have a Twitter space in which was Alex, and there was some Rootstock ambassador from Nigeria. They asked if we can build this with the Naira for Nigeria. Actually, if you go to money on chain communities, there is a big community of people in Nigeria, at least looking at our Facebook, because Facebook let you know who watch the fan page. We don't know who uses actually the protocol, but we know that there is a big community of Bitcoiners or whatever following the protocol.
We don't track the users. We have no clue who is using the protocol.
We have no clue, and we don't want to have any clue at all.
Exactly.
You know, having clue of it is a risk both for us and the users as well, for their privacy.
We believe in neutrality. We believe in the
privacy.
Exactly, privacy is a right. So we don't spy in users.
Yeah, that's very important to remind to other projects, companies, and I mean, because many people haven't been practicing privacy since a while, and these things like that happen with the samurais and other applications that have closed down remind us how important privacy is. People seems to forgot that.
Yes, and everybody should be aware that when you use an EVM compatible network like Rootstock or Ethereum, there is no privacy there. Even if you use Bitcoin, there is no privacy there. Every transaction is recorded in a blockchain.
Anonymous, but it's like pseudonymous. If you try to avoid and you are careful with whom you share your transactions, I think it's more private than a lot of things. But of course, the privacy, especially in Ethereum, virtual machine networks compatible that use these kind of addresses that you reuse the address all the time, is the price is very low. That is one of the main reasons I really would love to see stable coins running on Lightning Network, because privacy in Lightning Network is much higher, much higher.
Yeah, it improves a lot from the on-chain, and it's easier to use than using a mixing service like Tornado Cash.
Yes, it's not a good day to talk about
whose founder was found guilty today. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about that. But let's move on about what incentives does BPRO holders have to provide liquidity to the Flipmoney protocol?
Well, if you are bullish on BPRO, if you are a Bitcoiner holding BPRO, it's mainly because you like some free leverage on your Bitcoins, and you like to have a trust minimized token on which you are holding your private keys on those tokens, and you are receiving some additional liquidity mining in the case of Money on Chain with MOC tokens, and you are getting a portion of the fees that the user pays to use when you are minting Torrent Chain or BPRO. So that's the use case of the BPRO. Well, the BPRO Max is like a BPRO with a little bit more spicy. In this case, it will have even more leverage. So, and that leverage comes from the valuation of the Argentine peso and the Colombian peso against Bitcoin. So it's like a no-brainer, especially if you are an Argentine or a Colombian. You know that the only way that the Colombian peso and Argentine peso will go in the long term or even in the medium term against what I expect is not financial advice, but that's my personal opinion. I expect that these currencies are going to devaluate against the Bitcoin. So if that happens, the BPRO Max will get even more free leverage, and will get that devaluation from that Bitcoins that people hold in the Argentine peso chain. We call it ARS. It's very easy. The Argentine coin or the Colombian coin, they will get the sats that they will leave it in the table, I would say. And beside that leverage, they will get, initially, there is going to be a liquidity mining. In the case of Money on Chain, in the first years, it was important, the liquidity mining. So a lot of, like 10% of the Flip tokens are going to be shared with the BPRO Max holders. So there is going to be a huge incentive in economic terms for people to provide liquidity initially to the protocol. And besides that, there is also some fees from the protocol that goes to the BPRO Max holders. So to make it very short, if you like BPRO, we expect that those people will really love BPRO Max.
Yeah, so I've been feeling very enthusiastic about the Roostok ecosystem and Money on Chain as well, starting this year, because we have seen a lot of integrations in different front desk and decentralized exchanges and peer-to-peer markets and stores. So what are your expectations for Flipmoney and the new pegged coins that you're going to launch? I mean, there's going to be any integration from a decentralized exchange or peer-to-peer market that you can exchange with the Rostock or ecosystem, even other cryptocurrencies, as we have seen.
Well, yes, we definitely expect that, and actually, this protocol is launching with some special agreements with some partners that have been working with Manu on-chain founders and the team behind developing the protocol. So actually, the idea of building Flipmoney comes mainly from different people, but one of the main actors was Tropicus founders that came to Argentina and told us Argentine people in general understand the peso and the dollar, but they don't know too much about Bitcoin. So maybe they will be really willing to provide a collateral in US dollar terms and take a loan in pesos terms. So for retail use case, most probably that is one of the cases. Tropicus already agree and are going to make money markets for people, for example, to able to already they can provide PIPRO and take a loan on US dollars, peg coins, the dollar on chain, but they will be able now to provide PIPRO Max and take a loan on Argentine pesos, peg coins, or Colombian pesos and that will compete with the national financial systems. Of course, we expect that the rates are going to be much lower than the banking system because you don't need 1,000 people to run a banking system. And it all actually we are using the Bitcoin blockchain. The Bitcoin miners are providing all the work. Also, there are we did we shared another program last week with one of the founders of the crypto. The crypto is one of the biggest exchanges in Argentina, and actually is one of the largest in Latin America. Actually, they are already in Argentina and in Peru, but they are opening on-off ramps all over Latin America. I understood this year, and they are going to integrate the tokens to enable on-off ramp. Actually, they told us that they want to use the tokens for their treasury, for holding the money, and also to enable users to take loans or whatever. Obviously, that depends on them, but mainly the idea of building this is for DeFi users to be able to use it in protocols like Tropicus, but a lot of the reasons was this kind of, I would say, crypto fintech firms that are interested to provide new solutions for their users, and they don't trust centralized protocols because of regulation, because of many reasons. There is already some other stablecoins that are fully centralized, but they think it's not a good idea to use that kind of solutions, and they prefer to use trust minimized solutions.
There seems to be an arbitrage opportunity somehow for Flipmoney and users that are aware how the Argentina and Colombian pesos work against the dollar and Bitcoin, right? Like you can trade these currencies between each other and, find out arbitrage opportunities or leverage the financial behavior of each one of them. And as you said, like you wouldn't have the burden of dealing with a traditional financial institution. You will do it by yourself from the comfort of a decentralized application running on your laptop and integrated with your wallet. And maybe you can even, foresee what's going to happen with your local currency and take advantage of it against Bitcoin or against other currency. It will be like a financial decentralized market.
Yes, I don't see arbitrage opportunities there, but what I see is a very interesting opportunity to gain with the devaluation of the local currencies against the Bitcoin, adding liquidity to the protocol.
I mean, but you have Bitcoin and you have something like dollar on chain as well, which is the dollar. So you can identify these opportunities between Bitcoin, the dollar, the Argentinian peso, the Colombian peso, I believe.
There
Don't
shouldn't
you
be
see it like
any arbitrage opportunity there, because if you have an arbitrage opportunity there, is because an oracle is not working properly. But what indeed you have is opportunity to win more Bitcoins with the devaluation of the local currencies, because there are people that need to have a token pegged to the Argentinian peso for whatever reason they are asking us to build this. And there are people that needs a token pegged to the Colombian peso. So we as Bitcoiners, we know that in the long term, the Argentinian peso and the Colombian peso will devaluate against the Bitcoin. So we Bitcoiners mint BPro in Money on Chain, and then with those BPro, we mint BPro Max in Flipmoney, and we are going to be able to earn more Bitcoin with the devaluation of the local fiat currencies.
What I do think there is going to happen, most probably, is that there is a lot of people who are holding Bitcoin and don't want to sell it, and they want to take a loan. So how I expect that this will flow is that these people most probably will put their Bitcoins in case of in Tropicus, they could put it in RBTC, or they could put it in BPro, and they are going to be able to mint BPro Max and leave it there. And then there's people who, for whatever reason, they will speculate that the price of the peso is going to win against the dollar or whatever, or they need to have a position in pesos term, and they want to get a rate on that. So people taking loans will pay a rate, and the people putting their Argentine pesos or Colombian pesos, crypto pesos, fully backed by Bitcoin, they will get that rate. And this will compete with the traditional financial system. And most probably this will be a much more efficient market on which people who is providing this collateral will get a loan much cheaper than they can get in the traditional financial system. Actually, the financial system, if you go with Bitcoin to Banco de Galicia or to any bank in Latin America, nobody is going to give you a loan. So the only way to get a loan is in using these kind of protocols. At the end, no? So the market exists, and the market will regulate it in itself. And I think there is going to people who is going to speculate on the price of peso, Argentine or Colombian peso, to appreciate against whatever or for whatever reason they are going to get and to stay with that money. And there's people who is going to take loans. And so that is some of the demand. I also expect these tokens to be used in retail in the future because it's much cheaper to use. That was one of the use cases that the founder of the crypto was explaining the last week conversation that we have. That, for example, moving pesos in banking system rails, at least in Argentina, is really expensive. You need you have a lot of regulation or whatever. And moving money in crypto rails, there is no tax, no nothing. It's all crypto.
Exactly. In Argentina, you have a tax if you want to move money from one account to another.
That's true. So talking about these opportunities and financial integration, I'm gonna give a welcome to Mauricio Tobar from Tropicus, who's here with us right now. He expected a few minutes before we ended up this part of the conversation, but now he's here. Welcome, Mauri.
Welcome.
Thank you very much, Luis. Thank you, Manu. Thank you, Max. No, long time no see, Luis. It's so good to see
Indeed,
you. Glad
yeah.
to see you again. With Max
Long
and
time.
Manu, we talk a lot. Last week we were in another streaming. So yeah, happy to see you all of you guys. But Luis, happy to see you again.
Yeah, it's been
I
a
don't know how
while.
many months.
Yeah, it's been a while. We don't met.
Yeah. We need to find an excuse to meet again.
Well, come to El Salvador.
Yeah, why not? Why
Or
not?
I should go to Colombia.
Yeah, we have an excuse here that is the Blockchain Summit Latam in August. So you are very welcome and very invited to come and to do business. It's a business conference around blockchain and crypto. So it's going to be amazing.
Which
It's a
day
great
in
conference.
August is going to take place? It's in the last week of August, right?
14th of August, 14th to 16th of August.
Okay. I already have from my boss, not that boss, my real boss, have that from go. So I don't know, Max.
The permission.
I have
You have the permission from your boss?
permission
Okay.
from God.
That's good.
From the goddess.
Well, let's see how far the bull market it is, so we can make it by that time.
No, Bogota is. It's 10 years since I don't go to Bogota. It's going to be in Bogota, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be in Bogota.
That's great. Marvelous
Cool.
city.
So, Mauro, we were discussing how after Flipmoney launches, how it's going to be integrated in different platforms, decentralized exchange, peer-to-peer markets, and whatever else. So I understand that Tropicus is one of the first platforms that's making an integration with Flipmoney. How, if you tell us more about that, please?
Yeah, actually, that is a need of the users that we heard. We work for the users, and some of them tell us, guys, I love the protocol, but sometimes it's very risky to take loans in US dollars if I win money in local currencies. So it will be great if we can access to loans in the same currency as I win money, in Colombian peso or in Argentinian peso and other local currencies. And maybe if if they put a collateral, for example, US dollars or Bitcoin, and those collateral increase in value against the debt plus interest, maybe the loan will be paid very easily because the collateral, your savings, will increase in value against your debt. So that is what normally happens. We don't know what is going to happen in the future, but in the last decades, the local currencies of Latin America lost value against the dollar and the Bitcoin. In the long term, in the short term, is a very different situation. And the other thing that they told us was, guys, I like to start working in the currency that I know more. In some places, like in Argentina, people know how to use US dollars. In El Salvador, people know how to use and think in US dollars. But in places like Colombia or Brazil, people think in local currency, not in dollars. So to interact with DeFi, to interact with crypto, is a very good step for them to first to interact first with their local currency in a crypto version of that one, back to the local currency. And with that, they can, for example, as Max and Manu mentioned, do payments or cross-border payments or things like that, or remittances with their local currency, and they can exchange it in US dollars or whatever they want. But yeah, the people, we think that local currencies, Latin American local currencies, are shitcoins. I agree, because they're how they are designed. But if we want Latin Americans to use DeFi, to use crypto services, we need to try to understand them and to serve them and to offer the products that they need, not what we think is what they need for some stages. In this stage, they need US dollars to save money. They need local currencies to pay for payments and for borrow money. And with the time, they will see that even Bitcoin is better than the US dollar. But it takes time. Like in El Salvador, it's not a transformation of one day. It's a process. And yeah, that's why I think that these Latin American crypto pack currencies are important for the adoption of the different Web3 services.
Yeah, I can tell this as a Venezuelan as well, that, it takes some time to get used to the exchange rate between your local currency and the US dollar. And that happens also in Argentina. I mean, it's a painful road until you actually learn how these exchange rates works in the different markets. And I mean, in Argentina, you guys have like 12 different types of change between the USD and the Argentinian peso. So it must be really difficult to do your daily.
Last time I checked, it was like 25 or more. But
I
think there are more than 40.
I ran short. It must be like 40.
Yes, I think there are like.
But it still happened that even yes. After Milei,
still after Milei, there is many different rates. Still is the cepo, what we call the cepo, that you cannot trade freely pesos to. Actually, if you want to trade pesos to US dollar in peer-to-peer, it's illegal. There is you could go to jail. No, I don't know anybody who had went to jail.
Well, there are people who is in jail for doing that, but I think that not now with this government. No one is going to enforce that, and we still have plenty of exchange rate, but we all believe that will end probably this year.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So.
I understand that Milei is a dollar maximalist, right, or something like that.
I don't understand. I think Milei is more a libertarian, and what he said is that he believes in competition between currencies. Actually, I don't know if he's going to abolish the Argentine peso. He said that he was going to abolish the central bank, but maybe he never said that he's going to delete the national currency house. I never heard. I heard about the central bank. But I don't know what he's going to do about that. But I think he's what is called a minarchist
or is that dollar first?
No, I think people in Argentina is going to choose the dollar. He said very clearly, it's not that I'm proposing people to use the dollar. It's Argentine people is going to use the dollar. Actually, if you you've been here. If you are in Argentina, you know that all Argentines love the dollar. They don't see, or very few see, the inflation in US dollar terms. They think in saving in dollars. Yes, we Bitcoiners laugh at that and think, well, these people is poor people. Actually, I think about that sometimes with people from my family. But yes, there is a cult for the dollar. Actually, the estimation is that Argentina is the country with more physical dollars per capita in the world. But
after the United States?
No, more than the United States.
More than the United States.
Really? More than the United States?
Yeah. No, people in the United States don't have cash. They have debts in credit cards. They don't have cash.
The United States is becoming a cashless society. It's almost impossible to use physical cash in the US. They see you like an alien or something.
It's an
So it
investment.
must be right. There must be more cash circulating in Argentina than the US.
Yeah.
People in the actual governance said that you will be able to choose whatever currency you want. If you want to make your contracts in Bitcoins, you will be able. If you want to
Yeah.
make your contracts in US dollar, you will be able. So I think that is a great.
I wanted to refer that. I think they talk about it in December, past December. Like they say, if you wanna change your dog, your pet with for food,
Yes,
you can do
if
it,
you want
and
to
it will
pay in
be.
Dogecoin, you will be able to pay in Dogecoin or whatever, or Conan
No, I
coin.
meant your literal dog, your pet, like
Conan coin or MacGyver coin.
something like that. Any meme coin or something. So yeah, we all see Milei as a freedom of currency enthusiast. I don't think he's gonna make the dollar a legal tender. He just wants the people to trade whatever they feel they need to trade with, and that's good. Actually, I was seeing some numbers today from inflation in Argentina, and they are talking about it's not the actual inflation. I mean, the prices are leveling up to the international prices, consumer prices. How do you feel inflation in Argentina in the last couple months?
In the
Well,
next couple of
inflation is
months,
still pretty high, but it's going down.
No, in this quarter, like this year.
well,
How
it's
you feel it?
getting it's getting down very fast, but still is very high. We are coming from 25% inflation per month in December to I think it was 17 or 15 in January, and then 12 or something in February, and now going into the digit in April. From what I think, I'm not.
It was around the 8% this month.
Yes,
This past.
it's 8% per month. So if you are in Argentina, you say, "Oh well, this is not so bad," but really in international terms, it's like crazy. People in a country will say, "What?" But we are used to that. It's incredible. It's like in Venezuela and other countries. Well, you are from Venezuela, Luis. You know how you can get used to any.
Like 300% or I don't know.
I know what is the inflation now in Venezuela. How high is inflation? Is still high?
I'm not sure. It's more stabilized right now. I think it's in the order of the 10% by month,
It's like
something like
you get
that.
used to 10% per month.
I have a story there. I was in Caracas like I don't know 2 years ago or something, and I asked that question: how is inflation now? No, it's very controlled right now. It's only 250% per year. I was like, they told me another story because I asked them, present me one example of hyperinflation. And they told me we were drinking a beer and we asked for a beer and we paid for it. And the next round, the price was higher. That was the example of
wow, you can even drink a beer.
Yeah.
Wow.
That happened in my youth.
No, it's like that, and that happens with the products in the supermarket. You see a price in the, and when you go to pay it, it's completely different. It raises up.
Yeah,
it increases. So that happens oftenly, and I believe that happens in Argentina as well. From one day to another, you see a price increase.
Well, when I was young, I suffered hyperinflation. I think we did not just by chance, only because Milei was elected. If not, I think we will be now in hyperinflation. In December, we were like in hyperinflation. We were 25% per month. So hyperinflation normally it's called when it's 50% per month. But the feeling of chaos in December in Argentina, in December last year in Argentina was like when I was very, very young. Prices were changing all the time. And the most problem thing is that you can go to one shop in one corner, in one block, and to another in the same block to another shop, and maybe you will have different prices of 20%, 50%. Nobody knows what is worth anything at that moment. The distortion is huge. But yes.
Okay, so let's recap on Tropicus integration with Flipmoney. Mauro, please explain to me again how people can use the Tropicus platform while being integrated with Flipmoney. What I can do, I can borrow money in the pegged coins. That's basically what you can.
In the future, you can do, once it's integrated, you can do two main things. The first one is to yield your local currency. For example, if you want to save money and you want, and your banks don't offer any yield for you in your local market, or the yields are very low, you can put it in Tropicus and you can yield your savings. Where comes the yield? From the borrows or from the loans of people that put Bitcoin or dollar as a collateral, and they need liquidity. They don't want to spend their Bitcoin or their dollars, and they can borrow money in local currency, and they need to pay an interest rate that will pay the interest rate for the lenders, and it will give a spread for the protocol. So those are the main two cases. You can borrow money with putting collateral in Bitcoin or in US dollar, or you can yield your savings in Tropicus and add liquidity to the protocol.
Cool. Excellent. So if anyone has something else to add, I got a few other questions.
After borrowing, you can use the crypto or other exchanges to use that money in the regular expenses or whatever you need in your not digital life.
Yeah, of course. Now that after you borrow from it, you are free to use it as you want, as long as you pay the interest and the escrow.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you, Mauro, for being with us.
No, thank you, guys. Congratulations on the project. It's very important for Latin Americans. Nice to see you again, Luis, and you, Manu, and Mac. And invest in Argentina, as Elon Musk said, because the Argentinian peso is the new reserva de valor. Store of value.
It's the new gold. It's the new gold.
No, it's a joke. The investing in Argentina, invest in the people. That is an amazing people, the Argentinians. The only problem that they have are the politicians and the central bank.
Well,
I agree with that.
Sorry?
Excellent.
More.
Bye, Mauro. Take care.
Bye-bye. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
See you, Mauro. Thank you.
Good to have him, right? In this stream, like great friend. So let me check the questions I have here. We already discussed the privacy qualities of Flipmoney and the Rostock network. In the end, there are not too many. We know that. But what about censorship resistance? What can you say about that regarding Flipmoney?
It's the same like in Money on Chain. Initially, as I mentioned before, it is going to be completely centralized. So at that moment, initially, please don't come and put all of your people in the protocol. We are testing this in testnet, and then it's when on mainnet, in mainnet, there is going to be a period on which, of course, we ourselves and will put liquidity. And as I mentioned, there is some important incentives for people providing liquidity, but you need to be careful because initially, even if this is a model, a financial model that is exactly the same as money on chain, the protocol being rewritten everything. So maybe one of the devs forgot to put something there, even if there is audits and everything, and our first priority is always security. There could be a problem. Luckily, on Money on Chain, we had any incident, and we hope there is going to be no incident with Flipmoney. Again, be careful. And regarding censorship resistance, once it is completely decentralized, it is going to be very censorship resistant. Not completely, because at the end, the Flip token holder will be able to vote. So if there is some government that want to go to against the Flip token holders and tell them, or you make some changes on the protocol, or you all go to jail, because they first need to identify who are the Flip token holders and then make the threat, and then they need to vote and build this stuff. It's difficult.
I don't see that scenario, because
I don't see, but this is a
no, but they're telling that it's not, that there is not censorship resistance because the government can make the Flip holders to vote whatever. I don't see that scenario, Manu.
No, I don't see that.
We are building in RSK. RSK is completely censorship resistant. The protocol will be centralized, maybe for a 2, 3, 4 weeks in the launch. Then the protocol will fully decentralized. Yes, at the beginning, for the first 2, 3, 4 weeks, the protocol will be centralized. Even when the protocol is centralized, we have no opportunity to block any transaction. We should have to create a new protocol with that functionality. This protocol has no functionality to block any transaction. So yes, the protocol is completely censorship resistant, and I don't know why you are saying this, man.
No, it's just like an extreme case and something. Just trying to explain that really this is something that I don't think is possible to do. It's the only way how I think this could be. We need to rewrite, or someone needs to rewrite, because not even us, because we don't have control. Someone needs to rewrite the protocol and make it censorable. Now it's not going to be censorable.
Okay. So yeah, theoretically, there's a chance for censorship if a government goes against your wishes as a user after the protocol is decentralized. But that's a scenario that wouldn't be likely to happen, because there's no incentives for government to go against certain users into the protocol if the protocol works right.
That is like saying that the government will make all the Bitcoiners to upgrade their nodes to block whatever.
Exactly, or saying something like Bitcoin.
Crazy to say.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's not likely to happen.
Yes, I was in a similar discussion today with someone. I don't know the answer, but it's always funny to discuss difficult or extreme scenarios on which they were saying, well, but the miners are going to block some transactions.
Some miners can block some transactions, but other miners no. So some transactions will have to wait maybe instead of 10 minutes, 20 minutes or 30 minutes. But as long as this is an open network, everybody can mine Bitcoins and everybody can include the transaction that they want, and everybody can run the software version that they want. You cannot censor transaction in Bitcoin. It's a thing that is impossible to do. Even if United States said, well, we are going to use all of our power to block Bitcoin, you cannot do it because it is impossible to coordinate all the governments in the world.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult indeed. So yeah, let's discuss about the launch and the rewards that are awaiting for mock holders. There's a lot of intrigue about this question. Many people asking and pending for what they can get from Flipmoney launch.
Well,
So tell us how this rewards program will work at the
we
launch.
I already talked about there is some incentive for in this governance token for people providing liquidity once it is launched. But beside that, as we mentioned, most of these of the model and the ideas of how to build this came from Money on Chain, and there is a community of Money on Chain holders that at the end are like the owners of the protocols. So the idea is to reward the Money on Chain token holders that are providing all these the financial model and actually being helping on building this to reward with a share of the flip tokens that are going to be issued. Actually, it's a lot of the tokens. It's like 50% of the token because initially it's going to be 20% that is going to go to the MOC token holders. It's going to be a snapshot on which all the MOC token holders that are staking their tokens is going to be a snapshot. So if you are holding some MOCs, and I'm holding some other MOCs. Suppose you are holding 20% and I'm holding 80% of the MOC token holders, then this 20% is going to be shared 80% for me and 20% for you. If there is 1,000 MOC token holders, it will be shared the way they are staking the MOC tokens. And then this additional 30% are going to be shared between the flip holder that will receive this 20% are going to receive mock staking rewards. Flip staking rewards. So there is an additional 30% that is planned. Of course, in this case, as the Flipmoney protocol is going to be decentralized, this is something that the flip token holders can change. But the idea is that, or the initial plan when we launch is that this 30% is going to be distributed among the flip token holders. Okay, that is going to be more than the 20% because there is some other flips that are going to go to other people who had contributed to building this protocol. But the end is if you are holding MOC tokens and you like this idea of flip money for whatever reason, you need to go and stake your MOCs if you want to receive flip. That's very briefly the main point that you need to be aware if you are a MOC token holder. If you are not a MOC token holder and you want to take place in this snapshot, well, you can go and get with your Bitcoins or whatever you have, get MOC, stake it, and you will be part of this distribution.
So you heard it. For all our listeners, make sure to stake your MOC before June 3rd, which is when it's going to be the launching of Flipmoney, and you're going to be able to get this opportunity to onboard on the platform and get rewarded for it. So, yes, Manu.
Yes, something important. On June the 4th is going to be a snapshot. Actually, we hope that we will launch by that date or maybe later, but we don't know when we are going to launch. There is not a certain date on which we are going to launch the mainnet. We are already on testnet. We are testing all this, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be in the following weeks when we are going to go to mainnet. And afterwards, after going to mainnet, after seeing that everything is running perfectly, we are going to launch what we will have is like the TGE. It's not like the TGE. We are going to have a TGE like we had with Money on Chain, on which the flip token is going to be launched. But we will inform about that in the following weeks. The only important date and certain date right now is June the 4th, on which this snapshot on the MOC token holders accounts are going to be taken. Okay? You are mute, Luis.
Yeah, sorry, handling too many stuff at the time. So here at we have a dedicated website for you to learn and stay informed about the Flipmoney launching. We are launching on June 4th. This is the snapshot, as Manu said. Let me correct myself. On June 4th, there's going to be a snapshot for all the MOCs holders. And in the following days, maybe even just 1 week, the protocol will be fully deployed. It's already on testnet. So go right away to moneyonchain.com/launch, and you'll see the countdown for the Flipmoney snapshot. And you'll also get all the information on how to get MOC, how to stake MOC, and engage with the rewards program of Flipmoney. So it's really easy. Here in this website, you'll see the step-by-step guide on the also on our YouTube channel as well. And you must follow these steps before June 4th. So you getting into the Flipmoney snapshot. So there's a lot to learn. You can visit moneyonchain.com. We also have a blog. We also have the website hellomock.io. And stay tuned on our socials. So because we're gonna be announcing everything from the snapshot, any advancement, any details that comes along in the following weeks are going to be published there on our socials, on Twitter, and also on our community channel on Telegram. But here you have the information. Feel free to ask. We'll be happy to help. And this is it. Flipmoney, a stablecoin protocol for the emerging markets. Completely censorship resistant, self-custodial, almost the same as Money on Chain, but working with the local currencies. So I'll leave it there. This is the call for all of you to visit Money on Chain/launch, and you'll get informed about the Flipmoney snapshot and launching. So I think we're done right now. Just got one last question that was suggested for me. Maybe Max can answer it, and we can close this stream. What are the plans? I hear about Money on Chain being integrated with Lightning Network in some way. Is that true? How can you explain us to that?
Well, that is the first time I heard about that was in El Salvador in 2021. Gabriel Kuhlman, one of the co-founders of RSK, said, "Hey guys, I have this amazing idea. We could have the 2xP creating tokens on top of Taro, so we could have a truly decentralized stablecoin running on top of Lightning Network." I know that there are a couple of groups of people working on that idea. I don't know when that is going to happen, but that is something that definitely is going to happen. Imagine the robustness of RSK and decentralized protocols on top of RSK creating stablecoin like Money on Chain of Flipmoney, running on top of the Lightning Network, having almost free transaction, instant transaction, anonymous transaction. That is a dream came true, and that is something that is definitely going to happen. I don't know when, but that is going. That is part of the future. You can bet on that.
Yeah, I would. It wouldn't be strange to have that sort of thing this year with all the things happening in Money on Chain and Roostalk. I would like to see that. Sounds awesome.
Me also, me too, of course. But you should know that we are not actively working on that right now, but we know that there are some people working on that. I think that there is a team from Brewstock Lab working on that. There is a team in the tarot community working on that also. I know that there are a couple of software factories in Argentina that we are exploring the idea. So that is something that definitely is going to happen.
So, by the way, we have a pending conversation with some people about BitBMX. Manu knows about that, but I'll definitely add this one to my list. Maybe I'll reach Kurman and the other guys to
Yes, I can put you in contact. Let me remember. Actually, tomorrow there is a community call of Lighting Labs. Has what the project. Their project is called Taproot Assets. There is several projects. You met Giacomo. I don't know if you asked Giacomo when you met him a couple of months ago. But Giacomo is running another project. Then there is the people from Tether Inc. that are running another project with Sean Carvalho. There is several projects trying to do the same. So it's going to happen. Sooner or later, it's going to happen. And once it happens, the good idea is to have a censorship resistant with a trust minimized peg to move fully backed Bitcoin stablecoins on the Lightning Network. That's the main idea.
Yeah, I think that Tether is working in something similar, but not exactly the same, because they are going to create the tokens themselves in the network. So that will be as simple as today. You will have to trust Tether, and you will have to trust the one issuing the token. But what we are trying to achieve is that no human intervention, that you don't need to trust no one. Everything resolved by smart contracts and decentralized application, trust minimized.
Yes. So maybe BitBMX, there is, I don't know, I haven't asked Sergio, but I already asked Sergio Luis if we can do that call, but did not answer. he's
busy working on it. He's busy working on all that stuff, so we can wait.
He's building.
Yes, for BMX will bring a new, improved two-way peg between Bitcoin and RSK, and that is wonderful.
Yeah.
You have something for that, Max?
Oh, I can tell you that.
Okay,
will give us a way to create a much robust two-way peg between RSK and Bitcoin. RBTC today is the most decentralized representation of a Bitcoin that exists. You don't have to trust the peg notaries. You don't have to trust no one when you are using RBTC. But in some extreme situations, like the kind of Manu says that, this is not censorship resistant. Well, this is censorship resistant. Well, in that kind of extremely scenarios, BitBMX will give us a better way where those scenarios can happen. So basically, BitBMX is good for shutting up the hater voices. Because I feel
there is haters in the Bitcoin ecosystem, Max. No, really.
The truth is that RSK is good enough as is today, but this will be better. So haters will run out of arguments.
Yeah, no, I'll be happy to hear about that. We should have you guys here so you can explain and shut up the critics and the haters.
Well, we choose something to say. RSK is the most valuable network out there, and I cannot believe that there is so far there is very few people using RSK compared with its potential, right?
So remember, let's wrap this up for all our listeners. The flip distribution for mock holder is happening. It's actually on June 4th, or that's the snapshot, Manu?
Oh, that's the snapshot. Again,
Just
it's
snapshot,
only
okay.
a snapshot, and actually the token is going to be distributed slowly because it's going to have lockup and vesting and blah blah blah. So it's something that's going to happen slowly. There is no rush. The only important thing, again, if you are a mock holder, please stake if you want to be part of this. And if you are not a mock holder and you want to be part of this is an opportunity for you to be part. There's going to be other opportunities, but this is a good opportunity, maybe.
And you will have to, but when the protocol will be alive, we don't know. Our priority is robustness, security. So, in fact, everything is ready. We are just checking and rechecking and rechecking and rechecking. So as soon as we finish all that rechecking, we are going to launch the protocol.
So good things takes time.
Exactly.
Yes, and asking Max for dates doesn't work. So I already learned about that.
Okay, but for our listeners, don't get worried. I mean, these people are working behind the scenes, but we'll have it very soon, and we'll inform you. So stay tuned on our socials and also on our website. Don't trust these guys. I mean, they're joking with you.
Don't trust us. That's all. Please don't trust us.
Don't trust us. Don't trust us. Go and verify. The code will be open. Everybody will be able to check it.
Awesome. So if it's anything else that you want to add before we leave, something that I might be missing.
Sorry for my English only.
Actually, you have improved since a while ago. That we.
Don't worry, Manu. My English is
hope my mother doesn't listen to this.
My English teacher from school. I hope she doesn't hear this.
Oh, but his mother teaches English.
Actually, your mother teaches English. Okay.
Yes, his mother teaches English. She's from a British family, so. But I've been born in Italy, so I'm like Jacob.
Okay. But that's slightly worse because it's your mom and your English teacher, so she's gonna be
my mom. So. But I don't know.
Well, at least you hold it for an hour. That's good enough for someone that.
Yes, Spanish I can speak for many hours. Thank you, Luis. Thank you for doing this, and thank you for this interview.
No, thank you, Manu. I had a great time, and thank you, Max, as well. I'll be looking forward for all the topics that we want to discuss. This thing with money on chain and Lightning, Taproot assets, and whatnot. All the RSK's improvements.
Let me remember. Luis Ferreira, he's from Brazil, and he's good let's invite him to talk about Taproot assets. It's a very interesting thing to talk in talks with.
Who? I sorry.
It's called. I have it in my calendar. It's Lucas.
Okay.
Lucas Ferreira.
Of course, Lucas. Yeah, I know him. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Lucas.
Great.
Okay. Yes.
Nice idea to have him. Okay.
He's coordinating everything. He's a nice Bitcoiner. From LATAM. So yes.
Excellent. So you heard it. Visit moneyonchain/launch. Stay updated on our socials, and we're wrapping this up. This is Talks with Sado. Remember to follow us on Money on Chain. Okay. Visit our Telegram channel community and our website to stay tuned about Flipmoney. So thank you, Manu. Thank you, Max. And bye-bye.
Thank you, Luis. Bye.